Rio Grande. That thing looks like a shark.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that's a minnow, I'd hate to see a full grown. Man, look out. All right, we have rain out there right now. Let's go ahead and show you what's going on, and thunderstorms across central and western sections for today. As we put things into motion here and show you what we're focusing on, southwestern portions of the state, seeing some pretty good showers out there around Grant County, and then lining these storms up from T all the way through into Socorro County and the town of Socorro as well. And some of this, we're dealing with some heavy rainmakers here. And we're also dealing with the possibility of some small to moderate-sized hail. Now, most of the storms have backed off away from Roswell. If you remember yesterday, we had storms sitting in this about location and started to push its way toward the west, toward Roswell. Not happening today. The atmosphere a little too stable around Roswell and Hagerman to support a whole lot of activity. But check out Las Vegas. You guys are under the gun right now with a pretty good thunderstorm at this point. In the Santo Domingo Pueblo, we're seeing a few showers skirt through there along the I-25 corridor as well. Raton dodged a bullet with a storm a little earlier, a pretty strong one coming out of Trinidad, curled off to the north. Another one sliding off to the south. This one aiming for maybe between Maxwell and Raton. So we don't expect too much trouble on that front. Now, what we're seeing, though, for today is very slow-moving thunderstorms here. So we still have our moist air in place here. But what we're not getting is a lot of flow off the mountains with these storms and pushing them into the valleys. Essentially, the storms are just sort of sitting where they form, and so flood advisories have been the main area of concern for us at this point, and that's what we're going to continue to watch here because the winds, the upper-level winds that push these storms, aren't really there. So essentially, we form the storm, and they dump all that rain in English. It comes right down, and we end up with some issues underneath some of these storms. So that's what we have to watch here over the next few hours. And then into tomorrow, we'll see a similar setup. 90 degrees in the metro right now, southwest winds at 10 miles an hour, 70s and 80s for us to the north, down to the south, anywhere from the 70s in Ruidoso all the way up to the low 90s. But temps not as warm as they were yesterday. And you can see most of the storms now taking on more of a westerly flavor versus the southeast yesterday and east central sections. Well, after all that moisture yesterday, things have calmed down across the east. Not a total surprise there. But what we'll see here over the next couple of days is more rounds of thunderstorms. Now, the moisture overall tomorrow isn't really going to increase for us. We're just going to recycle the moisture we have and form some more thunderstorms out there. As we head into Saturday, though, we're going to dry out just a little bit. Now, a low-pressure system is going to approach us, so you would think, well, all right, aren't we going to see more storms? Not necessarily. This is going to drive in southwesterly winds, little less moisture, and a little more in the way of some of maybe those dry thunderstorms out there as well. So we'll continue to watch that, too. But overall, the point is a few storms here and there for us over the next few days. Durango and Farmington extended forecast, spot storms next couple of days. But the Northwest Plateau and southwestern Colorado definitely not seeing the bulk of the moisture here. Better chance at storms across the south and west again for tomorrow. Temperatures in the 80s and 90s over to the southeast. Temps topping out tomorrow in the mid-90s around Roswell and Fort Sumner, staying warm over the next few days with spot storms possible each day, and more moisture comes in for next week. North and east temperatures for the most part in the 80s and 90s with some scattered storms. Northern mountains, some scattered storms will be possible again for tomorrow as well. And we're looking at 86 in Taos, Santa Fe at 86 as well. 91 on Saturday with a spot thunderstorm. East Mountains, temps topping out tomorrow in the 80s with those spot storms possible. And here in the metro, we're not seeing much right now. There are storms around the area, but nothing right in town. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler for us. And unless we get that steering flow off the mountains, it's going to be tough for us to fire up a big-time storm here in the metro. But again,